I'm James Swanwick. Welcome to the Alcohol-Free Lifestyle Podcast, where you learn to live a life of health, wealth, love, and happiness.
Samuel L. Jackson, the actor. His films have grossed over $8 billion. And he also stopped drinking. I've got a quote for you. He says, "Amazingly, as soon as I stopped drinking, I became a successful actor. Hollywood called. The rest is history." Very common theme, isn't it? Folks stop drinking and success follows. Today we're talking about how to stay committed. You're getting ready to stop drinking. Ready, set, go. And now 11 ways to stay committed. Here we go. Number 1, change your language from I have to stop to I want to stop or I choose to stop. How do you feel when you say I have to? The words imply that it's tough work. When you quote-unquote have to. It implies it's something you wouldn't choose to do if you didn't have to. Motivational coach Tony Robbins says, people with an impoverished vocabulary live an impoverished emotional life. Now imagine how you'd feel if you simply changed the words to I want to or I choose to. Because if you say or think I have to quit drinking, then it implies tough work. By comparison, if you say, I choose to create an incredible healthy life, that gives you a completely different feeling. And when you feel positivity around something you want or choose to do, you are more likely to complete that very thing. If you're going to stop for, let's say at least 90 days, remind yourself that it's just 90 days. In fact, I had a graduating Project 90 client who said, when a craving hit, he would say to himself, it's only 90 days. Can I really not last 90 days? He said that to himself, and it really helped him to refocus because he didn't want to disappoint himself. Number 2, don't focus and obsess over the finish line. Just take one small step. Just take one small step. So what most people do when they start something is they think about all the different steps they have to take to complete it. And so what invariably happens? They give up. It all just gets a bit too much. The finish line is just way too far in the future. And our minds simply can't process something that far in advance. So I invite you to stop focusing on what you have to achieve in 1 year or 3 months or even 1 month. Just break it down into what you can achieve now. That's why our members and clients get a daily video sent to them. When they become a member. It's a daily video. It's just a little simple reminder. We send it directly to their inbox. It's designed to walk you through the process step by step. It helps keep them on track, helps them to stop obsessing over all of the steps. It's just one little step today. Just an example of this in practice. There was a famous CBS News journalist. His name was Eric Savrid, and he was a very famous CBS News journalist from 1939 through 1977. And he was a war correspondent during World War II, and he very famously parachuted into a mountainous, hostile Burma jungle. And Savrid, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Savrid, and his team needed to trek 140 miles in August heat and monsoon rain to civilized India. And in the very first hour, a large nail went through his boot and his foot. And so by nightfall, both of his feet were bleeding from blisters, and, he had 140 miles to trek. So how did he do it? How did he trek the 140 miles? Savrid said that he did it by using what's called the next mile principle. He simply focused on 1 mile at a time. Now, this is interesting. When I was an entertainment correspondent back in 2007, I interviewed the Hollywood actor Will Smith, who has been in the news recently for the slap seen and heard around the world when he walked up at the Academy Awards and slapped Chris Rock. I'm sure you've heard of it or seen it. And I was interviewing him at the Four Seasons Hotel in Beverly Hills back in 2007, and he was promoting his film at the time, which was I Am a Legend. And I asked him at the time about his secrets to success, and Smith told me, when you set out to build a wall, don't think about the wall. Think about laying each brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid, and then you will have a wall. And despite his recent indiscretion and walking up and essentially assaulting Chris Rock, I think, his idea on laying each brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid, I think is a great way to live our life, great way to take actions. And I've certainly been, I certainly remind myself of that Will Smith quote, when I think things are too far ahead and I'm getting a bit overwhelmed by all the things I need to do. Number 3, write a contract to pay a penalty or reward yourself. So what motivates you? Is it avoiding pain or seeking reward? If it's avoiding pain, then write a contract with a friend that states that you'll pay that friend a financial penalty if you don't complete your project or goal. I have a friend of mine, Manish Sethi. He owns a company called Pavlok, and I remember he wanted to lose weight. So he wrote a contract with me that stated that he would pay me $50 if he didn't eat a perfect paleo-style way of eating for 30 days. So for almost 2 weeks, Manish ate perfectly, and he lost 11 pounds. That's the power of the contract. It kept him on track for almost 2 weeks. Having said that, Manish eventually did eat a bag of Skittles, and he had to pay me the fine, $50, which is an expensive bag of Skittles. So if your motivation is moving away from pain, then try writing a contract, and the threat of a penalty will push you to the finish line. Likewise, if your motivation is reward, then you can write a contract that says that you'll take a vacation if you complete the task by a certain time, or you'll buy yourself a new outfit, or whatever it is that you identify as a reward for you. Again, if reward motivates you, write a contract that rewards you. Number 4 is just do it. Deep down, you know what to do. Have you seen the movie Empire Strikes Back? Remember that scene where Yoda is mentoring Luke Skywalker and Yoda tells Luke to lift the crashed aircraft out of the swamp with his mind? And Luke says, "All right, I'll give it a try." And Yoda replies to Luke, "No, do or do not. There is no try." That was my Yoda voice. Did it work? The lesson there is you just do it. No try, just do it. Whenever I want to do something and I know it'll take hard work to get there, I ask myself, do I really want to do this? And if the answer is yes, then I just do it. And those 3 words have inspired me certainly to live around the world, because I've lived in Australia, the UK, the US, Argentina, Colombia. They've inspired me to travel to 50 plus countries, to get my dream job hosting SportsCenter on ESPN, interview some of the world's most successful celebrities and professional athletes. Now, all of this, or some of this might not interest you at all, and you might go, "Ugh, that sounds boring or dull," or it doesn't interest you remotely. That's fine. Those kind of things interested me. And a lot of times, I would say to myself, I want to host a TV show, just do it. And then I did it. I want to travel the world. I did it. I wanted to create online businesses where I could have location independence. I didn't want to be in a job or a business where I had to be somewhere. And so I very intentionally created online businesses that give me that freedom. So, that's just my examples. Again, you might not care for any of that. Maybe it's, starting a family, or maybe it's getting a divorce, or asking someone to marry you, or whatever. Like, whatever it is, just do it. And whenever you feel resistance, notice the resistance and then do it anyway. Good reminder, we only get one shot at life, and which is pretty short. So I invite you and I invite myself to take action today, right now. Stop procrastinating, step up and make life happen. Don't wait for the perfect time. Take the time and make it perfect. Just do it. I try to articulate that to a lot of the people who email me and who say, "No, I'm just going to wait till next month to do it. I'm just a bit busy at the moment. I can't find the time. I don't have the time." Well, my invitation is just, look at the time you have and just make it work, make it happen. A lot of people say, I can't find the time. Well, I would say stop trying to find it and just make it. Just make the time, right? All right, number 5, hold yourself accountable on a whiteboard. I have a whiteboard which displays Certain goals that I have. It's changed over the years, but I've got exercise, eating right. Back in the day when I was living in Colombia, it was learning Spanish. And I would put a green tick under the day once I completed, whatever my daily goal was. There's a great story, actually. Jerry Seinfeld, the great comedian, and he, I think, has written at least one new joke every day for something like 40 years. And he said that he used to put something on his fridge. I think it was like a calendar. And every day he would write a new joke. He would go up with a red pen and put a cross through the day. And that was his daily reminder. And that was his way of holding himself accountable to writing a new joke every day. Number 6, live in gratitude, not expectation. So what you appreciates. I keep a daily gratitude diary, and my cue or reminder to fill that out is having it sit at the end of my bed sometimes, on the floor next to my exercise clothes, or sometimes I'll put it on a countertop or a coffee table. So each morning, as soon as I wake up, I see it, so I instinctively pick it up and start writing in it. Or if I, have it in the kitchen, for example, I'll put it there, and that way, before I go to the fridge, I'll see the journal, and it reminds me to write down what I'm grateful for. And if you remind yourself to be grateful, then you're giving yourself a gift of, you're finding evidence for all the things in your life to be grateful for. It can be challenging at times, especially when things aren't going your way and you're feeling a bit down, but the practice of writing down intentionally what you are grateful for tends to rewire your brain and gets you feeling a lot better, reduces stress and anxiety. Number 7 is meditation. There's a company called mindfulness.com. Friends of mine run it and own it. In fact, we're going to be doing a partnership with them coming up. But Mindfulness has a really great app. My friend Corey Muscara is the head guy over there. All top performers like Tony Robbins and Oprah Winfrey and athletes do meditation. And brain scans have shown that it changes the shape of your brain. In fact, it's been shown to reduce clinical levels of anxiety by up to 90% in people, which is crazy. It also improves your relationships. You become more comfortable with yourself, makes it easier for others to get on with you. You find it easier to accept people as they are. So lots of benefits there. Number 8 is nature walk. When was the last time you actually went out and walked in nature with no phone or no distractions? I like to go for walks. I must admit I often or almost always take my phone, and so I get to be better at that. I want to, and I choose to leave my phone behind. I must concede that it's still challenging for me because it's attached to my hip, and I guess I make excuses and say I should have my phone with me at all times because I'm running a business, but certainly on those rare occasions where I do leave my phone at home and I just go for a walk, I feel terrific because I'm not being distracted. Number 9, change your thoughts. You can trick yourself into thinking you've already achieved a goal if you only focus on positive thoughts. But certainly, as you probably are aware, limiting beliefs hold you back. An example of a limiting belief might be something like being alcohol-free is boring and unexciting. So let me ask you this question. What did you do before you started drinking to have fun? You probably didn't even think that being alcohol-free was boring, right? How did you handle stress before you were drinking? What have you done to handle stress when drinking wasn't an option, say when you're at the office? Like imagine if you're in a job and you're in the office and it's 11 o'clock in the morning. How do you handle your stress then? A common limiting belief is that you need alcohol to be fun, confident, social, and relaxed, especially after a tough day. This is just a lie from alcohol advertising and cultural conditioning. So I guess the way you'd sum up number 9 is challenge your beliefs, change your thoughts. Number 10 is to love yourself more. And, there are reports that suggest that 96% of excessive drinkers grew up in a dysfunctional family and have emotional wounds. And so a natural coping mechanism is to drink. Look, there may have been times in your life when you didn't feel good enough or struggled to fit in, or you were rejected by someone you were attracted to, or you missed out on a promotion, or you were picked last for the sports team. But having a drink will not make you feel better about this in the long term. if you're pouring alcohol into your body each day and then beating yourself up about it, then certainly you're in a damaging pattern. I remind myself we all make mistakes. I make mistakes. But will we let our mistakes define us or use them as fuel to move forward? So anything we can do to practice self-care, self-love, reminding ourselves of all the good is going to certainly help us. And then number 11 is visualization. Roger Bannister was the first man to ever run a sub 4-minute mile. He did it in 1954. And at the time, no one thought it was possible. But Bannister did it. And he has been interviewed, or he was interviewed many times, and he said that self-belief and visualization helped him get there. He visualized the race in incredible detail over and over again, and then he broke the record. And what's really interesting about this is, do you know what happened next? Within 3 years, 16 runners completed the same feat. So it was impossible up until the first person broke it, and then 16 runners did it over the next 3 years because they had rewired their brain as to what was possible. So how does visualization work? Well, your brain's reticular activating system, which is known as RAS, brings attention to anything that will help you achieve your goal. You subconsciously develop solutions to achieve your goal, like randomly coming up with new ideas in the shower or when you're hiking. I don't know about you. I love taking long showers. It's probably not great to be wasting so much water, but I do get moments of clarity and genius ideas, I think, when I experience running water going over my luscious full head of hair. That's a lie. I'm completely bald. Number 3, you get motivated to put all your focus and attention into achieving the goal. So every morning, take a few minutes to visualize a life of health, joy, and abundance that's free of alcohol, and it will feel weird at first, but stick with it, and it will just start to give you ideas and help you to come up with a plan and help you stay on track for stopping drinking or staying quit from drinking if you have already stopped. So I hope that was helpful. Ready, set, go. 11 ways to stay committed. I would love to hear from you. You can leave a review on the podcast if you'd like to chat with me or my team on a no-obligation exploratory call to see if or how we might be able to support you with your stop drinking goals or your health goals or relationship or conscious communication goals. You can schedule a 15-minute call with our top coach, Victoria English. You can do that at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/schedule. The link's also in the description. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you so much for listening. For more content like this, you can check out our YouTube channel at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/YouTube. You can follow me and send me a direct message on Instagram and TikTok at James Swanwick. And you can see the results of our scientific study at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/study. If you'd like to apply to become a stop drinking client, you can visit alcoholfreelifestyle.com/project90. I wrote a book called The 30-Day No Alcohol Challenge, which you can find on Amazon. And you can always email me directly at james@alcoholfreelifestyle.com. If you're a regular listener of the show, would you please do me a big favor and give the show a rating and a review? It helps us get more listeners, and you'll be potentially helping someone else out there who's struggling with alcohol to find us, to listen to us and get support. Thanks so much for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.